Kiva is here. She also has been a leading face
Raju,
to talk
Raju,
on
Narzaryk.
river. As the first speaker mentioned, we looked at from two angles, two frameworks to study river. The first framework that the Naman Mazid talked about is the cultural sensitivity framework. It's about civilization, it's about culture, it's about traditions, it's about the emotional and emotive issues related to river. It's called cultural sensitivity framework. The next framework that we can look at the river is the ecosystem services framework. Ecosystem services framework is about the fish, about the irrigations, about the agriculture, about the services that we get from the river. So these are the two frameworks that we can utilize to study framework. Whenever we talk about river, we cannot ignore Brahmaputra. Brahmaputra that originates from Himalayan Hindu Kush mountains in Tibet, from the Narzaryk lake, which is called Yarlung Sangpo in Tibet. When it enters Arunachal, it is called Siam. Some people call it Diham. And Brahmaputra. Sir mentioned about more than 3,000 kilometers of length of Brahmaputra. Sir was mentioning about 1,600 is in Tibet. But actually Tibet contributes, China contributes only 15% of the river volume of Brahmaputra. And when it comes to Assam, there is a contested name. The Bodos called it Burlung Butur. But widely it is known as Brahmaputra. I don't know when this Sanskrit word called Brahmaputra, son of Brahma, has come to Assam, because if you look at the historical side, the Sanskritization has taken place much later, and the native civilization started in the valley of Brahmaputra much earlier. And it's very interesting, it remains Burlingbuthur or Brahmaputra, and little far away, when it's joined by Tista, it's called Jamuna, the same river. Tista is here only in Siliguri, it enters Bangladesh, and it becomes Jamuna. When Ganga joins Jamuna in Bangladesh, it is called Padma. And when Padma is joined by Meghna, it is called Meghna. So it enters Bay of Bengal. We all know Bay of Bengal. It becomes Meghna. So practically in a few hundred kilometers, it changes so many names. And as I mentioned, the original Yarlung Sangpo contributes only 15% of the river volume in Brahmaputra. Most of the tributaries, Arunachal Pradesh and most in Assam, contributes to the actual Brahmaputra, which becomes Jamuna, then you have Ganga, Padma, all these rivers. You actually see, when we look at from the framework, the cultural sensitivity framework, where we recently have Namami Brahmaputra. It has taken a religious, it has taken a very emotive kind of site of Brahmaputra. That some people worship the river. Some people take it as a part of the culture. Some people take it as a part of life. Some people take it as curse. I was listening to some of the people in the Chor area in South Salmara district in Assam. So they say, what is that we can do for you related to river? So that fellow said, can you take this river out of our life? They directly say, can you take this river out of life? Because this river is a cause of their miseries in life. Because of the floods, because of the erosions, because of the displacement due to erosions. They take this as a curse. But some people look at the Gangetic plains, where Ganga is the lifeline for millions and millions of people But here we are taking the river as curse. So I will not go into the broader aspects of what it is and the whole experience of working on issues of river. Specifically Gaurang. Gaurang is a discussion point. We were discussing, our chairperson, our Honorable President of Bodo Sahitya Sabha was asking, what do you mean by Gaurang? What does it mean for you in life? And how does it become Gaurang? It's actually little upstream. It is called Saralbhanga. And Saralbhanga is not a local name. It is called Sarmanga. And Abu has written a beautiful article on this. It is actually from a word called Sir Ganga. It becomes, from there it becomes Sarmanga. And when it joined by Samukha river, from there I think it becomes Gaurang. In 2016, I am talking about the ecosystem services framework. There was a big flood, and flood in Bhutan, which is unheard of. Bhutan never has floods, but in 2016 there was a huge cloud burst, little upstream the Gaurang River in Sarfam district headquarters, which was down below. There was a market called Sarfam Market, and the district headquarters was there. When the cloud burst, flood happened, the entire town was washed away. The Sarfam town, little away from here. It will be, I think, around 50 kilometers from here. Sarfam town was totally washed away. The Bhutanese agencies became really active. Then they wanted to divert the Saralbhanga river. They were wanting to divert through a different route. Had they diverted the river, the farmers on the other side, the Saralpara side, in Saralpara we have about 15,000 population who are solely dependent on the waters of Saralbhanga river through Zampui system. We call it Zampui, in Assamese it's called Dong system, which is a diversion-based irrigation. And it's a very traditional technology of irrigations. I don't know for how many thousands of years it has existed. No engineer, no modern engineer could invent such a technology of making Zampui, using the velocity of the river, creating a traditional check dam and putting the river into Zampui or Dong. They are solely dependent on this. Had they diverted the river, the original force of the river would have gone to the other way and the farmers could have suffered. It is not only the human being in Saralpara side, but the biodiversity of Ultapani Reserve Forest. They would have suffered so badly. The animals, the wildlife, the plants and trees, they could have badly suffered. And it is for this reason there was a resistance by farmers in 2016. Threatening the Bhutanese officials, hierarchies of officials, that you cannot stop the river from flowing. And very scary, sir, that Bodoland has so many transboundary rivers. We have counted about 56 transboundary rivers in BTR region itself, in Bodoland region itself. And when you call transboundary river, it is actually classified. And what classified, sir, understands. What do you mean by classified? Nobody can access the information from the river. It is classified, securitized. It is with the Ministry of Home Affairs. It is with the Defense Ministry. No civil ministry can hold the information related to transboundary river. Nobody can get information on Brahmaputra. Nobody can get information on Manas, Beki. Nobody can get it in Parlandia. Same is the case with Saralbhanga and Songkos. You cannot access information of transboundary rivers. These are totally securitized. They can have information. The Home Ministry or Defense Ministry. Now, we are saying little ahead in Patgaon, in the same flood, 2016, people don't understand why suddenly the rice bowl of Patgaon, there's a place called Patgaon, big rice bowl, thousands of bighas of land, totally silted, totally submerged by sands. Suddenly, all over the night, people have become landless. Their crop field is gone, paddy field is gone. My gaigra haya or sevna bala jazbai. Thakawan solikni unawai. And it is because of what? It is because of extractions of boulders. Extraction of boulders by Bhutanese officials, and boulders are being sold where? In Bangladesh. There is a treaty between Bhutan, India and Bangladesh for free transportations of boulders. And they are when extracting boulders in the rivers, upstreams of Bhutan, they extract the boulders. What remains? Only sand remains. Boulder Kolamba, Bale, Transit. When there is huge rain in the mountains, whole sand is washed away and it's deposited in our farmlands in Bodoland. Zungni, my duplicate of So I don't want to narrate more. I just want to generate curiosity of all of you. Young students are here. I think you should be interested, you should be curious enough to study this phenomena and kind of tell it to others, the common people, that why this is happening, why suddenly there is a sand in my paddy field, why there is flood all of a sudden in my vicinity. Flood plain, sir has spoken about flood plain. We have here in Gora, just little 100 meters away, there is a flood plain. Today it is filled by homes. Mansipur no visible flood plain. Hamba ma pun gabon bana jagan, angni no bana jafideng gan. Nunga nangi no bana jaya. Bana usin no luhideng. Visible na? Flood plain now. No luhine bane bana ya no luhine. Traditionally, we leave the flood plains and we build our homes somewhere else. But here, we are occupying the flood plains, and every year there is a flood, then there is a flood. No, there is no flood actually. Actually, you are at floods. Flood is not at your home. So these are the things that I think we need to study when we talk about river governance and management. We need to talk about fisheries. We need to talk about inland water transportations. Now, suddenly you go and talk to people in Dhubri, in Bilasipara, Sor areas, South Salmara, they say, earlier, before 90s, before building this Narzaryk Setu, there was no erosion in Dhubri and South Salmara. When the Narzaryk Setu was built over Brahmaputra River, the erosion has started in the downstreams. Now there is the longest bridge being built from Phulbari to Dhubri, some 21 kilometers. You do not know what the impact will be in Bangladesh. The impact may not be in South Salmara and Dhubri, but the impact will be in Bangladesh. But both sides there are human beings. The interventions in Bhutan, building of dams on the rivers upstream, and it is all built by Government of India, mostly invested by NSPC. The impact will be felt by us in Bodoland in Assam. With these few years, thank you.
So thank you very much, Raju, for the information that you have provided.